back yourself in general. And number two, don't be afraid to risk it. Not all, but risk, 99% of what you have and dump everything that you possibly can into this one venture. A lot of people enter a business or start a business and they're risk averse. I think we were the opposite. We were hungry to see what we could do, and if we were going to fail, we were going to lose basically everything. Our bank accounts were always friggin' zero. We were working at Samsung to fund drops at EE and fund expansion of stock and stuff like that. So I think, when we talk to people that are starting businesses now, not that we're freaking gurus or anything like that, we just say, like, do more, spend more on advertising, get more customers, buy more stock. Don't be afraid to sort of risk it to get the biscuit at the end of the day, because that's how we did it back in the day when we were lucky because acquisition costs were low. But there was a month which I'll never forget where we spent more money on advertising than we made in revenue. It was about 1-to-1 or 1 to 1.5. So like, let's just say we spent 75 grand on Facebook, but we made 100 grand, which is highly unprofitable. Like we were moving back, but at the end of the day, we were acquiring customers, and the more customers you acquire, they buy more than once, lifetime value. We were winning in the long run, and we didn't even understand that back then. We were just dumping money in there because we were like, fuck this, we'll just dump money into it.
LTV.
Exactly right, but we didn't even know what that was.
I didn't know what LTV was
True.
until last year.
Yeah, I think I was just like, because you can boost posts and stuff like that, and I was just like boosting a post, and I was like, oh fuck, where's all this money going every day? Like 2-3 grand coming out of the account, and it was crazy. But I think in the end that it wasn't a mistake, but that planning and that ability to risk it all got us customers, which is at the end of the day what you need to succeed, and to grow a community around a brand.
I think for me, what is close to home is if you're trying to make your first million, is to focus on who you can do your venture with, like finding the right person. And we've been fortunate enough to, have each other since we were very young, is to find a person that thinks like you and that you can think like, all right, I basically want to marry this person, and we want to create something together. I think sharing the ups and the downs with someone is so much easier than doing it on your own. And I'm only speaking from a personal standpoint here, because I know that when we've had downs, we've gone through it together. And same thing, we've had really high highs. You can share it with someone, and you've got someone there that's experiencing it all with you. So I think, if you're looking to get into business, that is something that we didn't know we were doing it at the time. But I look back, and every single step of the way, it's just been so much better because you can share it with, in our thing, he's my best mate, but it doesn't have to be your best mate. Just find someone that, you can trust and
yeah, I think a lot of people are skeptical and pessimistic on finding a business partner or doing something with someone else and getting them involved. We personally think, I don't know, it's just our experience, but we think that's wrong. And the ability to bounce ideas off someone and have someone there standing by your side when times are tough, it's invaluable. And you end up succeeding, or you have better chance of succeeding by having someone there by your side and going through the tough times with them. Because, there were some times there when, if I was by myself or Paz was by himself, we might not have made the right decision. But because we sort of sat there, worked through it together, we're here now. And then, in the highs, we look at each other and we hug each other and we're like, we made it. We did something really, really, really good here. So I agree with that as well. I agree.
It's about finding the right person.
Right person is very difficult. You need like skill sets that sort of complement each other, but you need to be different, but the same in the same sense as well. Like you need to want the same thing. For example, like, I don't know, we don't really talk about this, but I think Paz he's a very macro person. Like he's thinking big picture. He's always thinking strategy, progression and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that too, but I'm a little bit more anal and articulate about every little minor detail that is going to get us there to our destination. And I think we sort of leverage each other's strengths to an extent to get to that place. Like if there's something that I know that he's just going to excel at, I'm just going to palm it off to him. And I think it's the same in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's so powerful when, I genuinely think that that's what I've got with Liv. like Liv's creative, but she's also like a master executor.
Yeah.
I'm not a master executor. I'm a talker. I'm a big picture guy. Yeah. I can tell you the vision and you'll buy it. You know, like that's just me.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm confident in that. But then it's like the micro tasks every day and like, okay, this is the vision, but we need to get this, and this done. And that's Liv. And it's the same thing. Like, you know, I have always found it really difficult to find someone to bring into the company that I think has the opposite skill set, but also shares the same ambition as I do. Whereas it's funny, like since Liv has left her job and come into the business, I finally found like I've got someone like that. Yep. And it's that kind of relationship. And like, you're right. Like, it's like, okay, we're under serious pressure right now, but we can lean on each other and kind of brainstorm ideas and work on this. And even, you know, you've got someone who's complementing that skill set. Whereas previously I was just a macro guy and I was exactly like, right. You know what I mean? So it's, I think that's, yeah, it's something that I've experienced only recently that you guys have probably been experiencing for a while as well.
And it's even as simple as positive reinforcement. Like if something bad happens, you turn to each other and you say, "No, we've got this," or like we can work through it together.
We're on the right track.
That is in itself so freaking powerful, and no one can take that away from you. So yeah,
just being positive in general really helps in business because negativity is not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah,
and that's a very common theme about why people can't actually get off the ground. Very negative about everything, and I understand a lot of people going through, you know, shit. Everyone's going through shit.
Especially when you're flying too close to the sun.
Yeah.
You know, like there's times in business where it gets it tight. And it's like there's a lot of pressure and anxiety driven to it, and someone reiterating that and telling you that you shouldn't do this, or, you know, why are you doing this? And you know, kind of that negative mindset doesn't make it any better. Exactly it makes it a lot worse.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So you guys, we obviously just had the first million chat, right? But you guys are, you know, beyond that now. And you guys are at a point where I would really love to obviously talk about this and get an insight into kind of where we're at now. You guys seen massive, massive growth throughout 2020. Obviously, you know, on the back of e-com and obviously the pandemic as well. And I'd love to talk through that and I guess open up some of the lessons, some of the things you guys went through, some of the key decisions that you made during that time, but also where you're at right now as well. And you know, obviously some of the things that you guys are thinking through now. So we'll start, let's go from like 2020 and kind of look at, okay, what were the things that you guys, that took you to the next level?
I think the decision to really double down on expanding the women's range and going with that really helped, and really sticking to that minimal feel that we've got with our pieces really helped kind of facilitate the growth in 2020. And also having such a lean operation, then we kind of were positioned well
to take the
opportunity. So we were so flexible in any way, like we were ready to pivot anywhere. So whether the market was kind of going one way or we saw there were trends somewhere else, it was like Ben would, you know, get some samples and he would go through, design some stuff, and that's it. And within the space of 6 to 8 weeks, we could have, you know, close to 10,000 pieces at our door. So that was something that really helped us get through that period because the demand just went through the roof. And
it was keeping up with demand at the end of the day. That was the biggest problem. Like, logistics in general has gone through the roof. It's an absolute shit show at the moment. Like you're paying, back in the day, I don't know if anyone wants to know this, but like back in the day, you used to pay maybe $1, $2, $3 for a container, like coming from, you know, the Port Melbourne from China. Now you're paying 13, 14 grand for a container. So we're pretty lucky that we're in an industry where the margin can support that sort of increased cost, and that's a fixed cost basically to get a container in. But even so, like to get a container in back when COVID was so rampant in, what was it, 2020? Or was that the first year? Yeah, 2020, like no one knew what was happening. Planes weren't flying in the air if you needed something quickly. China was in full lockdown, which is where we get most of our staff. So we were like, wow, what are we going to do? The lucky thing is that it worked itself out quite quickly, and we were able to get back on track. But for the first, 5-6 months of 2020, we were struggling to keep up with demand because everyone was like wanting active wear because the only thing you could do
Just go outside
in
and
2020 is go outside and go for a walk with a friend for 1 hour, which is, you know, neither here nor there, or sit on the couch in your loungewear. And we were hitting both of those, which we were incredibly lucky to hit. We were hitting both that person that was watching Netflix 12 hours a day, and we were hitting that person that wanted to go for a walk with their friends and look cool doing it. So at the end of the day, I think that's the main thing we did well in 2020.
Yeah, we'll go, man.